You'd be surprised what you can make from pallet wood that most people just throw away. In this video, I'm going to take a few beat up pallets pulled straight from the trash and turn them into something completely new. Now, if you've never taken apart a pallet or prepped pallet wood before, you can check out the first video in this pallet series linked below. I cover all the steps in detail there. Now, let's get into the build. I started by measuring out the slats for the top of this pub style table. I wanted it to be 20 by 20 inches, so I measured one board, made the cut, and then used that piece as a template for the rest. This saves time and cuts down on kind of the human error of measuring, which is always a win because I'm really good at making errors. A stop block also would have worked great for this. Once I found a pattern I liked with all of the pallet slats, I then grabbed the pallet joist, milled them down, and used them as the frame for this table. I didn't really mind all of the nail holes and just attaching them with screws since all of this is going to be hidden later on anyway. Oh, and pro tip, use a clamp during assembly. It keeps everything tight and square, which is a game changer since wood loves to shift around when you're driving in screws. So this little trick helps keep everything perfectly plumb with minimal effort. Next, I attached the table legs with a little glue and screw action. Now, confession time, these legs are not from a pallet. Since this table is for a customer who didn't want any nail holes showing, I ended up just using regular construction lumber instead. But if you're building this, you could totally make the legs out of pallet joists. Unlike the top shelf where I cover the braces later on, for the bottom shelf, I wanted the braces to be visible, so I attached them using pocket hole screws from the inside. That way all of the hardware stays hidden. Hey, if you're enjoying this build so far, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. It really helps me out and ensures that you'll keep seeing videos like this one. And stay tuned to the series too, as I have some more videos coming up on cool projects that can be made from pallets. If there's anything specific you'd like to see made though, make sure to comment below. Now where was I? Oh yeah, sanding. Of course. I know I'm always tempted to jump straight into assembly since that's the fun part, but sanding first definitely makes things easier. Now luckily the planer left everything pretty smooth, so this was just some quick touch up. For the tabletop I just slapped some glue down, then attached everything with these thin brad nails. This makes for a pretty clean look, but honestly, it is just as fun using a nail gun as it looks, so I was just excited to incorporate it into the project. Now after snapping the bottom slats into place, it was on to some of the finer touches of this project. I added banding around the edge of the tabletop to cover the frame. I mitered the corners, but if that's a little too tricky, you could always use a simple butt joint or just leave the frame showing. Now, if you're wildly unimpressed with my lack of skill, you could also level things up here with something fancy like a finger or a dovetail joint. Now, speaking of that lack of skill, of course there were some gaps in the miters because, well, I'm me. But this is an easy fix. Now, I've tried a bunch of different wood fillers, but honestly nothing works as well as just mixing glue with sawdust from the same piece of wood. This way you know that the color will match perfectly, it's strong, and you can sand it immediately, and any extra sawdust from the sander will just settle into this homemade goo. After doing some tests to compare the difference between oil and gel stains, I don't think I will ever go back to using oil-based stains. The gel stain just creates more of an even finish, and it's a lot more of a bright and rich color. Oh, and if you are using anything more expensive than an old t-shirt cut into strips to apply stain, you're doing it wrong. Here's another pro tip for you. Polyurethane creates a hard, durable surface, which is perfect for something like this after staining, but if you've ever used it before, you know that it can sometimes be streaky, leave bubbles, it requires a high-quality brush, and overall, it just takes some careful attention. But if you mix equal parts polyurethane and mineral spirits, you can make a wipe-on poly. Now, you can buy this in stores, but it's way cheaper to just make on your own. Now, you can just wipe it on with any type of cloth, and because it's more runny, it won't leave bubbles and is much more forgiving. You'll need to apply more coats than traditional poly, but the wait time between coats is a lot shorter. And there it is. Some more pallets saved from the trash, and another project finished.